warm welcome to AD4TV Radio News Update, coming to you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital territory. I am Adirayo Dada. The Public Affairs Director of the Nigerian Ministry of Aviation, Mr. James Odaudu, this Tuesday in a statement issued in Abuja, said the Minister of Aviation, Senator Hadi Sirika, received medical equipment donated by the United Nations at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. According to Odaudu, the minister took delivery of the equipment on behalf of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 and expressed the appreciation of the Nigerian government to the United Nations and Allied Air Cargo for transporting the equipment free of charge to Abuja. In a similar development, the Tertiary Education Trust Fund has expressed its commitment to fund research by medical experts in universities, teaching hospitals, and institutes towards short-term medical palliatives and breakthroughs in World Health Organization certified vaccines against COVID-19. The Executive Secretary of TED Fund, Professor Suleiman Bogoro, stated this in a press release, detailing the institution's response in support of the fight against coronavirus. While thanking the Nigerian federal government for scaling up research funds, Bogoro noted that this action will go a long way to consolidate on the new research and development drive, which has led to the production of sanitizers and prototype ventilators in universities across the country. The Managing Director of Nursel Microfinance Bank, Mr. Abubakar Kure, during a media briefing in Abuja this Tuesday, said 3 weeks after the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) released the guidelines for the 50 billion naira targeted credit facility, over 80,000 applications have so far been received from businesses and individuals. The CBN had introduced the 50 billion naira targeted credit facility as a stimulus package to support households and micro, small and medium enterprises affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Based on the guidelines released by the CBN, those that can benefit from the funds are households with verifiable evidence of livelihood adversely impacted by coronavirus. Others are existing enterprises with verifiable evidence of business activities adversely affected as a result of the pandemic, and enterprises with bankable plans to take advantage of opportunities arising from the pandemic. Meanwhile, the head of Media and Public Relations Unit of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abdulrahman Balogun, says the commission has initiated its artificial intelligence assistant and emergency call lines to facilitate efficient communications with Nigerians abroad. Balogun stated that the emergency call lines were launched to especially assist Nigerians during this COVID-19 pandemic. According to him, the Artificial Intelligence Assistant, or chatbot, is an automated messaging solution that encourages natural language processing. We take a short break now. More stories when we return. Do stay tuned.
Coronavirus, they really make you do what you fit today, can't wait. Now, the cocoa thing where you owe yourself be that because it's better to survive than for water to run your eyes. Oh, yeah, waka boom boom, begin the use hand sanitizers, facial mask, and not green for gumbody at all for anywhere, especially where people boku. Clear road, arrange yourself, keep social distance, and practice good hygiene for house and surroundings. Do what the government tell you, sit down for house and make it for no loss. Coronavirus, they so make we green together, waka fighter like a kozuna.
Welcome back. The governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, during a press briefing at the State House this Tuesday, said the state government will open food kitchens in all the councils in the state, with a target to provide 1 meal per day to 100,000 youths. Sanwo-Olu added there will also be unconditional cash transfer to 250,000 vulnerable residents and economically challenged persons who have identification numbers with Lagos State Residence Registration Agency. Operatives of the 81 Division of the Nigerian Army have arrested 7 suspects for impersonating military officers and perpetrating criminal activities amidst the lockdown in Lagos, Nigeria. The suspects were paraded by the General Officer commanding 81 Division, Major General Olu Irefin, at the division's headquarters, Victoria Island, who warned that the Army will henceforth arrest anyone who uses military stickers or any military accessory to perpetrate any illegal act. Moving on to the foreign scene, United States President Donald Trump this Tuesday says he will halt funding to the WHO because it has failed in its basic duty in the response to the COVID-19 pandemic. He accused the organization of mismanaging and covering up the spread of the virus after it emerged in China and said it must be held accountable. The WHO is yet to directly respond, but the United Nations Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, says the international community should be uniting in solidarity to stop this virus. South Koreans in their millions are heading to polling stations this Wednesday to hold parliamentary elections despite the global coronavirus pandemic. Voters have been required to observe various protective measures, such as wearing face masks, having temperatures checked, disinfecting their hands, and putting on gloves to enter the booth, in addition to the observance of social distancing by staying 1 meter apart from the next person. The mass testing, contact tracing, and quarantine measures in the country assured authorities of the safety for the elections to hold. The country has so far recorded 10,591 COVID-19 cases and 225 deaths. The Russia coronavirus headquarters has reported 3,388 cases of coronavirus infections this Wednesday, the country's biggest single-day increase yet. The virus has reached all of Russia's regions except for Altai in West Siberia, one of the least populous in the country. Russia has a total of 24,490 infected cases. Meanwhile, Thailand has extended a ban on incoming passenger flights until the end of April in a bid to curb the coronavirus outbreak. The Civil Aviation Authority of Thailand first introduced the ban on the 4th of April 2020 and has now extended it to the end of the month. Since the coronavirus outbreak in January, Thailand has reported a total of 2,613 cases, 41 deaths, and 1,405 recovered patients. The head of the European Union delegation to Nigeria and the Economic Community of West African States, Ambassador Ketil Carlson, has said the 21 billion naira donated to Nigeria by the European Union is largely meant for the poor. He added that the poor people that depend on the informal markets, those who do the day-to-day work to put food on their table, the elderly, the internally displaced persons, vulnerable people are the center stage of the European Union intervention plan. A Chilean court this Tuesday ratified a 3-year prison sentence handed to Christian Lab, a former aide to dictator Augusto Pinochet, for torturing a detainee in 1973. Lab, who served as mayor of a Santiago suburb until 2012, was convicted in September for torturing a 26-year-old student, Harry Cohen, in a town in southern Chile in the early days of his military rule. The Temuco Court of Appeals in the south of Chile rejected an appeal by Lab against his conviction and ordered the state to pay a compensation of about $35,000 to the victim. And that's it on AD4 TV Radio News Update, coming to you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. You can join the conversation on our social media platforms at AD4 TV Radio on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at AD4 TV Radio. Many thanks for watching. I am AD4TVRADIO.